We are out on beautiful Lake Fork. So before this lake was impounded, they started building the lake up from a creek channel out, and they built a bunch of ponds, brood ponds, that they stocked with Florida strain largemouth bass. So there's ponds all over Lake Fork, you know, that they made. They built them, or some of them were already there, you know, and they stocked them with fish and slowly built the lake and filled the lake up around the ponds while they raised the bass in those brood ponds. And then obviously when the lake came up, it either went over the tops of the pond dams or they busted holes out in pond dams to connect it to the lake. There's hundreds of them that are all over the lake. And those pond dams, man, they drove trucks over, bulldozers over, you know, front end loaders, all kinds of stuff. So most of those pond dams are really, really hard. I'm actually right on top of one right now. You can see it on my LakeMaster map right here. You know, that's the end of it. This is, you know, Hurley Pond Dam. You know, it's a famous spot here on Lake Fork. It's one of my favorite spots. But you know, those fish still relate to these pond dams. It's just a high spot. It's like a point. You know, that's really hard. A lot of them have shell on the top. This one has a tree line right on the back side of the pond dam. And it's just a great spot to catch fish. We'll catch fish on them today. Maybe not this one right this second, but eventually we will. So you can see right here, we got a lot of bait showing up on this point. That's a bunch of shad, like the whole side imaging out here on the right where the drop is on this point. It's just a ton of shad. So idling, we're early. It's 9:30 in the morning. A lot of times out deep on Lake Fork and other lakes around this area, your fish will start setting up later in the day. So right there, I'm gonna revisit, you know, in 3 or 4 hours, whatever it is, this afternoon, and check that spot again, because all those bait fish are sitting there and bass are gonna get there eventually, or they should. You know, those bait fish are using it for the same reason the bass are using it. You know, it's just the right little setup that they want right now, right on the side of a point, you know, right before a big saddle connects to a big pond dam. And a lot of them are shallower or deeper. And like I said, a lot of them will have blowouts in the dams that are real good. There'll just be a little cut where the current comes in or the shad can come in and out. So it's just a really cool thing that the lake did to grow those fish before they impounded the lake and filled it up. Growing those fish, you know, like when the lake actually opened, it already had a lot of 10 to 14 pound fish that came out of these brood ponds on Lake Fork. There's nothing on this one right now, so we gotta go.